Das ist schon Fahrkunst am Limit.
Loses control.
Da sind sie nebeneinander zu zweit. Zum Glück.
It's a grey, gloomy and wet Lausitzring that greets us here for race 11 of this 16-race season for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. After Nürburgring last time out, can we even go halfway towards matching that level of excitement? 2 races at the Nürburgring just 2 weeks ago. They were absolutely epic and very, very memorable. And if we have races that are half as good as that here this weekend at the Lausitzring, we will be happy. Welcome, everybody. We are in Klettwitz in the state of Brandenburg in East Germany. We're about 100 kilometers south of Berlin and about 63 kilometers from Dresden. And we are getting ready for qualifying for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Qualifying for races 11 and 12 of a 16-race season. We are getting to the sharp end of the season. It seems to have gone past incredibly quickly. It wasn't that long ago. We were lining up in the sunshine at Spa-Francorchamps for the opener. But the championship is very much alive and kicking. That man there you saw briefly, Lauren Heinrich, is leading the points standings, but Larry Tenforder is closing in by just 23 points. That is the gap between first and second. Bastian Boos is also there as well, and he is not out of the running completely, even by... Well, talking to him earlier, he said that it is a bit of a stretch to get there, but he is in the hunt, as indeed is Dylan Pereira, 55 points adrift. It is 25 points for a win in Porsche Carrera Cup, and the driver only needs to have 1 non-finish, and it can all turn around very quickly. And at the Nürburgring, Lauren Heinrich had a moment in race 1 which saw him spin and have to fight his way back through the pack. He fought back very well indeed, up to 10th place, but it wasn't the points haul that he needed, and along with a 2nd place in race 2, it actually equaled what was his worst weekend of the season. You're seeing Carlos Rivas there, the most successful driver in Pro-Am racing in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He is the defending champion. He has that pesky Jan-Erik Sloten, though, getting in the way of him and the title, and it's Sloten who leads the way in the Pro-Am Championship. He has 193 points. Carlos Rivas closing in, but still a lot of work to do. He is just 7 points adrift with 186 points in the Pro-Am Championship. We have the Rookie Championship as well. Lorcan Hannafin has jumped to the top of that. He has a very healthy lead, 193 to Huub van Eindhoven's 164, with Alex Fack with 145 points in 3rd place. So the car's out on the circuit at the moment. As already mentioned, the track is very greasy. We had very hot conditions all week for testing and for free practice. Yesterday afternoon, the drizzle arrived, and the track didn't really get that greasy. It was a very light drizzle for much of yesterday afternoon. Then overnight, we've had a lot of heavy rain. And then today, it has now stopped raining. We've had a couple of other qualifying sessions for other classes, but the track is still definitely wet. You're looking there at the number 42 car, and that is Lucas Vlerma. And we welcome Luca Vlerma to the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Great to have him here. It is a guest at the moment. He is the 2021 Porsche Sprint Challenge champion. He's come through Deutsche Elektrokart, and he is here in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Hopefully, he'll enjoy it enough that we'll see him next year. He's enjoying very much his time here at the Lausitzring. He's had a bit of trouble getting used to the ABS, or the fact that there is no ABS in a Porsche Carrera Cup car, but has really enjoyed it very much as we ride on board with Lauren Heinrich. So we welcome Luca Vlerma to the series and hope that he will become a regular fixture, one of the real up-and-coming stars in GT racing. Lauren Heinrich, championship leader. He has a clear track in front of him at the moment. So the question is, what will happen with this circuit? If the rain stays off, then the circuit is going to get progressively quicker and quicker as this session goes on. But of course, there is the risk that if you wait till later in the session, then you might end up with rain falling and the track is going to get slower. The drivers have very restricted tyres in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So, do you use your tyres up by trucking around lap after lap, or do you wait until later in the session? That is the dilemma. You can see the windscreen wipers are going on the Larry Tenforder car, so clearly there is some moisture in the air. Larry Tenforder, who is the defending champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. The last time we were here was in 2020. And Larry Tenforder won a race here at the Lausitzring in 2020. Leon Köhler won the other of the races. We would normally, in dry conditions, be looking for a lap time of about 1:23, 1:24. As you can see, we're a long way off that at the moment. Larry Tenforder, a 1:36.746. But that is not really representative. We're expecting the times to come tumbling as the drivers get heat into the tyres and as the track dries out. But Larry Tenforder already stating his intent by jumping to the top of the timing screens of 1:36.746. The Lausitzring, a great circuit, of course, a tri-oval first and foremost, and then the road course built within that. The circuit we're using, sadly it's not the oval, it is the short course, which incorporates part of the tri-oval. We use most of the home stretch and part of the second stretch of the tri-oval. It is a circuit that is 3.478 kilometers around with 12 turns, 7 to the left and 5 to the right. The driver's running in an anti-clockwise direction, which is quite unusual and can be quite hard work on a driver's neck. Of course, we normally run in a clockwise direction. That is Carlos Rivas pointing in the wrong direction. That just shows you how tricky the conditions are. He rejoins right in the way. It looks like Sebastian Freeman is that he's joined behind. But he's kept it out of the barriers. I have to tell you that the wall here is a very unforgiving. The solid concrete wall, particularly on the exit of turn 5 and the exit of turn 11, it doesn't move when you hit it. And you can see there that solid concrete wall. The driver's giving it a very wide berth in these slippery conditions, and hopefully nobody will be making contact with that this weekend. Larry Tenforder continuing. A 1:36.501. Dylan Pereira up into second. We're having a look here, and that is Carlos Rivas going spinning. That is a replay, and he keeps it out of the barrier, keeps it out of any kind of gravel traps, and rejoins. So Carlos Rivas finding the conditions very tricky, and that turn 1 is very tricky even in the dry. It's a downhill section. You can't really see it on the screens, but it goes downhill. It's a weird kind of camber on it, and it can catch the drivers out. A tight pinch point during the race as well, and it is probably one of the trickiest sections of the track. Now we've got a bit of a traffic jam going up here, and that is up at turn 5. Drivers who have gone off wide, looks like several of them, now queuing up to rejoin. So the traction very much at a premium here at the Lausitzring in these greasy conditions. Rudy Van Buren, the number 57 car, and we're riding with him. The green on the screen means that he's done a personal best in Sector 1. The red means that it's not especially spectacular in comparison to everybody else. What he really wants is purple, because purple means he is the fastest of everybody. So Rudy Van Buren currently 3rd on the timing screens, looking to improve on that. How he's done in Sector 3, well, let's find out as he comes out to cross the line. And Rudy Van Buren remains in 3rd place, so no improvement on his time there. 1:37.107. Another driver, that's Tim Stender. So Tim Stender, he is here in the Holger Harmsen car. Holger Harmsen still recovering after that accident at Spa-Francorchamps, and we welcome Tim Stender in the HRT Performance Porsche. There's Jonas Greif, who is pointing in the wrong direction. So now that is not a great position to be stopped, and hopefully he can get that moving again. So Jonas Greif got a great view of all the cars coming out of the corner, and the engine is running, so he'll be looking to rejoin, and that is out on turn 1. Let's have another look there. And Maurice Schuring just avoiding action, not to get involved and he keeps it out of the barrier, and looks like he is able to rejoin. Larry Tenforder is still the quickest of anybody at the moment, 136.501. Dylan Pereira currently in second, that car there that we're looking at. Dylan Pereira, who runs for Iron Force Racing by Phoenix. And again, Sector 2 was not especially quick, and he will be looking to improve on that. He's not a long way down on the best in Sector 2, about 3/10, which is an eternity in Porsche Carrera Cup. We'll see how he does in Sector 3, but Dylan Pereira probably not going to be troubling the top of the timing screens. And Pereira crosses the line and stays in second place. We're now following Luke Hartog, a driver who was on the podium last time out at the Nürburgring, and Hartog, who was probably struggling a little bit in free practice yesterday, and every time I saw him he was huddled over the data looking to improve. A driver who just takes his racing so seriously and is always looking to find that little bit extra. Currently in 5th place, and this is Bastian Buus, the newest driver to win a race in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, also the newest driver to win in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. Bastian Buus in the number 99 car at the centre of so much entertainment at the Nürburgring 2 weeks ago. And if you haven't seen that race, I would thoroughly recommend checking out both of the races from the Nürburgring last weekend. They were both spectacular. Of course, in race 1, we saw Georgi Donchev actually rolling the car, and that was dramatic. Bastian Buus, that's the kind of drama he doesn't want. Out wide, and it looks like Tauscher as well. Alex Tauscher, both of the Allied Racing Porsches, a bit of formation rallycross there. So Tauscher and Buus both out wide on the corner. They rejoin, they keep it going. The gravel trap's fortunately not overly deep, so Bastian Buus gets it wrong, and Tauscher, we wonder whether he's just very much following what Bastian Buus is doing, but he also gets it wrong. He was a driver who was looking particularly fed up yesterday after free practice, not really able to find the kind of pace he wanted, although once he put new tyres on, the car did look very rapid and was at the top of the timing sheets at one point. But there are the two Allied Racing Porsches doing a bit of rallycross. Both seem to have escaped damage. Of course, keep an eye on that little red strip at the front, the splitter, because if the driver damages that, that has a massive effect on grip and on downforce. And running off the track like that can be a real opportunity to damage the splitter on these cars. And then once that splitter is gone, there's no way of replacing it during a race or a qualifying session. We're looking at Larry Tenforder. He is still the fastest man at 136.501. Second is Dylan Pereira at 136.672. Nobody is improving, especially at the moment. There are still plenty of cars out on track, so many drivers still trucking around. There is Lauren Heinrich, our championship leader, currently 4th in the timings, 137.386. So he is about 8/10 off Larry Tenforder's time. So these greasy conditions really testing the drivers. Behind Lauren Heinrich is Luke Hartog, 5th place, and then Bastian Buus, Maurice Schurin, Max van Splunteren, Alex Fack, and then Dan van Koyk rounding out the top 10 as we look at Lauren Heinrich and we look at his onboard camera. To remind you, there are 2 races this weekend, one today and one tomorrow. And qualifying in this session is for both races. The driver's fastest time will count as the grid position for today's race. The wet tyres there, and the big question is, are the drivers running on wets? Yes, that's still wet tyres on the Larry Tenforder car. Surely nobody's going to go out in slicks in these conditions. Well, who knows? That might be a bit of a trick. As I was saying, the fastest time, counting grid position for today's race, the second fastest time is the grid position for tomorrow's race. So a bad qualifying session today will hurt the driver in both today and tomorrow, potentially. Now, most of the cars coming back into the pits. Is there anybody who's going to put slick tyres on? I can't believe anybody would. The track is very greasy, It doesn't look to be drying out anywhere at the moment. But of course, if somebody does put a set of slicks on and then goes out and sets a demon time, everybody is going to be following very quickly. At the moment, Larry Tenforder, with those wet tyres still on the car, heading back out, looking to improve on that 136.501, which is his fastest time. That's a great shot of Larry looking up at the driver. Some great camera angles in this session. We've still got a little under 22 minutes of the session remaining, and there is Zoran Sprang, also doing a little pirouette out on the track. And again, he keeps it out of the wall, he keeps it out of the gravel trap, and that's the important bit, and that looks like it's out, well, it's out coming onto the tri-oval. We welcome back Kim Hauschild, rejoining us, a regular competitor in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, has been kind of on and off this year, has done a couple of appearances and was at Zandvoort for a couple of races there, and he is here again in the HRT racing car. The runner-up in the 2021 Pro-Am Championship, Kim Hauschild, number 77 car. Great to have him back here at Porsche Carrera Cup Germany in 2022. So Hauschild, Stender, and of course Luca Vlerma are the three guesting drivers here this weekend. And keeping an eye on the progress of both of those. Tim Stender currently at the back of the pack with a 1:48.253, so he's nearly 12 seconds off the fastest time. Luca Vlerma, 26th, and he is about 4 seconds off the fastest time. Kim Hauschild, 13th, 2.254 off the fastest time. Rudy Van Buren, a driver who is always mixing it, always there, getting stuck in. A driver still looking for his first win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and still looking for his first podium this year. So the number 57 car, he's been so close so many times, and he earned a 4th place at Zandvoort back at the end of June, but still looking to stand on the podium, surely only a matter of time. And clearly enjoying these slippery conditions is Rudy Van Buren. Not as much as Larry Tenforder, who still leads the way, 1:36.501. Keep an eye on his times, and he hasn't set anything too spectacular so far as he goes back out and tries to improve on his already fastest time. Looking at Rudy Van Buren, lots of sliding, lots of drifting in these conditions. Keep away from that concrete wall. And we look at the Ahmad Al-Shihab car, the Kartek Motorsport by Nigrin. And it's great that Ahmad is here in the Pro-Am category. Currently not really a challenger for the Pro-Am title. Has had a fairly mixed year, but enjoying his racing. Max van Splunteren also out on track. Max van Splunteren at the moment currently 8th, so a good session from him so far. 1.803 is what he needs to find, though, to close in on Larry Tenforder. A lot of the drivers, you can see the red of Sector 2, a lot of the drivers really struggling with that middle sector of this circuit. It's very windy, and it's a part of the circuit that doesn't create overtaking opportunities during the race. Max van Splunteren crossing the line in 8th place, remaining there. Bastian Boos also, that's Sector 2. About getting on for a second slower than the best in Sector 2. So clearly having a bit of a moment there as we look at Lauren Heinrich as well and compare their times. So Bastian Boos in 6th, Lauren Heinrich in 4th. They cross the line, Bastian Boos remains 6th. And Lauren Heinrich will cross the line shortly. Here we are, riding on board with him. And you can just see how much he's having to work the wheel to keep that car pointing in the right direction. It takes a lot of courage to stay flat out on the back turn 11 and 12. He crosses the line, and Lauren Heinrich remains in 3rd place. So nobody improving at the moment. Can't really tell whether it was kind of a drizzle that was falling prior to this session, and it looked like it had stopped before. What a drift from Lauren Heinrich. It had stopped the drizzle as this session was getting started, but I'm wondering if it started again from the position that I'm speaking to you from, I can't actually see any rain coming down, but the track clearly is not getting any drier, and it looks like the opportunity for slick tyres is not going to present itself. Nobody really improving at the moment. So many cars, pretty well every car out on track, just looking to improve more and more. This is that great bit of drifting from Lauren Heinrich. Great fun, but not the quickest way around. We've got drifting here as part of a demonstration at the Lausitzring this weekend. He'd be part of that as well. But Lauren Heinrich still not able to improve on that 4th place at the moment. Luke Hartog, a driver who has gone purple. So the first of the drivers to improve in Sector 2. So Luke Hartog clearly has found some grip somewhere in the number 4 car, still looking for his first win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Car in front of him moves out of the way, but Luke Hartog kind of tiptoeing and hustling the car across the curbs, and just a little bit too much, and that is going to completely mess that lap up for him as he heads towards turn 11, getting onto the grass. And I don't think he's going to improve on his 5th place, which is a real shame, because he had been green in Sector 1, a personal best in Sector 1, the best of anybody in Sector 2. But he crosses the line and he does improve, albeit by a place. So Hartog up to 3rd place now. So Luke Hartog, and he will be wondering what might have been had he not got that wheel out onto the grass, because that was looking like a red-hot lap from the Black Falcon pilot. But that little mistake as he headed towards turn 11 would have slowed him down. He would have had dirt on the tyres. He did well just to keep it all pointing in the right direction. And of course, it is a game of millimetres, keeping the car on the track, on the fastest part of the track, not getting out onto the dirt. As Rudy Van Buren now rejoins to try and improve. He is 4th place at the moment, so he'll have his eyes on that position that Luke Hartog has just stolen away. But Hartog, the first driver to go purple, and he's gone purple again in Sector 1 as he continues to try and improve. But Sector 2, 24.396, so it's not a long way off. He might still improve on his 3rd place. But keep an eye on Luke Hartog, clearly a driver who's enjoying these greasy conditions, and every opportunity here to improve on that 3rd place. Remember, 1st and 2nd fastest times for each driver are important for grid positions for race 1 and for race 2. Here comes Hartog again. It's turn 11, up onto the banking, up to turn 12. And you can see little dry patches appearing on that corner. Here comes Hartog across the line. And he goes fastest. Luke Hartog to the top of the timing screens. We could see that one coming. But Luke Hartog, what a great lap from him. The middle section wasn't his best, but it was Sector 1 and Sector 3 that counted. Luke Hartog, a 135.913, finally bumping Larry Tenforder. Dylan Pereira also improving, a 136.414. So Larry Tenforder, who had been at the top of the timing sheets for so long, suddenly down into 3rd place. Lauren Heinrich, championship leader, down into 6th. Now, can Luke Hartog do this again? Remember, he needs a fastest lap more than once for the grid position for today's race and for tomorrow's. Hartog has clearly found something. He was a driver who was totally ensconced in the data yesterday and looking to improve. Now, I don't know what tyres he's got on that car. Surely he's not on slicks, but Hartog, he's gone purple again in Sector 1. His Sector 2, as per the last time, a 24.501. So that is only about 2/10 off the fastest in Sector 2. So if he can string together a good final sector here, he may well improve his position further. It's a 135.913. The fastest time of the day so far, going to Luke Hartog. You can see Carlos Rivas, also a personal best in Sector 1, but let's see what Hartog can do. So a 135.913 was what he did last time, and not an improvement, but still very rapid. So Hartog cementing his position at the top of the points, at the top of the timing screens. He'd love it at the top of the points. Carlos Rivas, the defending Pro-Am champion, and he is currently the quickest of the Pro-Am drivers. He is currently 15th. Our Pro-Am Championship leader, Jan-Erik Sloten, is 24th, so he's a long way back. He's got a bit of work to do from there, as Jan-Erik Sloten. Our fastest in the rookie standings is Alex Tauscher, and he is 13th. And Alex, he's not been feeling 100% this weekend and was looking pretty forlorn yesterday, but I thought it was looking pretty rapid myself, and he's proving that. He's 7th overall, and the leading rookie driver there is Dylan Pereira, still looking to improve. Now, Pereira, what can he do? Personal bests in Sector 1 and Sector 2. So Pereira up into turns 11 and 12, the banked corner, and out onto the pit straight. And out to cross the line. Can Pereira improve on his 3rd place? And he crosses the line, and Pereira goes to the top. So Dylan Pereira bumping Luke Hartog, as does Larry Tenforder. So Tenforder have already eclipsed Luke Hartog. So Pereira first, Tenforder second, Hartog, who was the quickest, now down into 3rd. And as you can see, the track is drying out because the purple sectors are now coming thick and fast. Lorcan and Hannafin also quickest in Sector 2. So every driver starting to improve. The track clearly coming to the drivers. You see Hartog bumping over the curb. Rudy Van Buren briefly was the quickest in Sector 1. That is eclipsed by Dylan Pereira, who's now gone purple in Sector 1. So in the last 10 minutes of this session, it's all to play for. It's Dylan Pereira leading the way at 135.434. Larry Tenforder, 135.719. There's Ariel Levy and Rudy Van Buren just ahead of him. So Rudy Van Buren, personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 2. And actually just stringing together 3 personal bests. Maybe the way Van Buren, the back end stepping out as he gets onto the power of the car, sliding. He's fighting the wheel. And again, we don't have any colour coding on the tyre, so we don't know whether he's on wets or whether he's on slicks, but it is a rapid lap. Larry Tenforder also personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 2, so Rudy Van Buren crosses the line, 3 bests, and he goes up to 2nd. Larry Tenforder not able to improve. So the track really is evolving very quickly in this last 10 minutes of this session on board with Dylan Pereira. He is the fastest man at 135.072. Is he going to be the first into the 134s? He's done a best of anybody in Sector 1, a 32.021, and that eclipses his zone by about 0.05 of a second. And Morris Schuring also a best of anybody in Sector 1. The times continuing to tumble. Here comes Morris Schuring up onto the bank to 11 and 12, onto the pit straight. So Schuring, who was in 6th place, surely he's going to improve here now. He crosses the line. Oh, he stays in 6th. So that final sector wasn't entirely kind to Morris Schuring. Larry Tenforder, a personal best in Sector 1, a 32.281. Tenforder currently 3rd. Sector 2, 24.672. So has Larry Tenforder taken the best out of those tyres in this session? And has he rolled his dice already? Is he able to improve? He'll be looking to hang it all together in this, the final sector of this lap. Still tracking down Dylan Pereira's 135.072. Luke Hartog, a personal best in Sector 1. So keep an eye on the Hartog time. Here comes Tenforder out of 12 and across the line. Larry Tenforder looking to improve on 3rd, and he stays where he is. Not a spectacular Sector 3. Hartog 24.763 in Sector 2, so that is not especially quick in Sector 2. Bastian Booster next to the drivers to record a purple sector, and Luke Hartog really fighting that car. And it doesn't look to me like this is going to be an improvement. He is 4th at the moment. It's P4 for number 4. Out of that final corner to cross the line. And Luke Hartog remains in 4th place. Bastian Boost, keep an eye on the number 99 car, the fastest of anybody in Sector 1. Personal best in Sector 2. This could be spectacular. Bastian Boost, he's currently in 14th, but that is all about to change as he comes out onto the pit straight. 14th is where he was, and now Bastian Boost pops up on provisional pole position. Bastian Boost stringing it all together at 134.389. The first of the drivers into the 34s, and you can see the slick tyres that were there, but it's wets that are going onto the Lucas Oertel car. So any drivers, are they on to slicks or are they on to wets? Great to be able to get a camera down there so we can see it. Certainly wets on Lucas Oertel's car, the treaded tyres. He's currently 30th in the standing, so Lucas Oertel a lot further back than he wants to be. The session ticking away, 7 minutes remaining. Lauren Heinrich, the championship leader, and he's got a bit of work to do. He is down in 9th place. There is Dan Van Kuyk in front of him. He works his way past. He rejoins Rudy Van Buren, currently trucking around looking to improve. A good perspective of Lauren Heinrich on board. And you can see how misty and how murky it is. How brave the driver must be. It is just millimetres between a pole position and a session-wrecking incident, and the drivers just riding that line on the edge, trying to improve on that time. Bastian Boos is our leader. Max van Splunteren jumps up into P2. He's still in the 135, so Boos is the only one into the 134s, and not even by a fraction, a 134.389. That was a mighty lap from Bastian Boos. Dylan Pereira in 3rd, 4th Rudy Van Buren, Larry Tenforder in 5th, Luke Hartog in 6th, Lorcan Hannafin now the fastest of the rookie drivers in P7. He's been fairly quiet this session, but just nibbling away. Morris Schering in P8, Alex Tauscher 9th, and then Kim Hauschild, the quickest of the Pro-Am drivers, in 10th place. So these weather conditions really starting to mix the field up a little bit. The windscreen wipers going on the cars. It looks like it is raining again, and it may be that some of those quick laps that we saw in the middle of the session were set on slicks, but it looks like it's definitely wet weather tyres now, and it looks like this session is not going to get any quicker. Let's have a look as Bastian Boos continues on his way. Max van Splunteren crossing the line, looking to improve on 2nd. But I have to say, 2nd is probably what he'll take quite happily out of this. And that would be a really good result for him. Carlos Rivas into the pits. Drivers on wet weather tyres, so maybe there was that window in the middle that allowed drivers onto slicks, which saw those times come tumbling. But with the drizzle very much in the air, the windscreen wipers are going, nobody now is improving. It's Bastian Boos. If things stay as they are for the next 4.5 minutes, he will be on pole position for race 1, ahead of Max van Splunteren and Dylan Pereira. Rudy Van Buren, Larry Tenforder, and Luke Hartog, who was on that pole position for so long, now 6th fastest. Lorcan Hannafin, he'll be pleased with 7th, ahead of Morris Schering, Alex Tauscher, and Kim Hauschild. Championship leader Lauren Heinrich in 11th place, so he's a long way back. And our Pro-Am Championship defending champion, Carlos Rivas, currently 24th and 4th in category. So a long way back for Carlos Rivas. So Dan Van Kuyk is still improving on his personal best. So Van Kuyk, who was in 25th place and jumps up to 15th. So stringing it together, so some drivers are still improving. Jan-Erik Sloten is not one of them, as cars coming back into the pits now. Often in these qualifying sessions, they build up into a crescendo. This maybe it goes out with a whimper. Larry Tenforder is trying to change that, though. He's done a personal best in Sector 1. So Larry Tenforder still trying to improve. Sector 2 has not been kind to him, and it does feel a little bit like maybe it's raining a bit harder over on that part of the track. A 24.603 is about half a second off the best in Sector 2. But he can make it up in Sector 3. You can see the rain on the camera lens. You can see the spray. So the moisture has most definitely returned. Larry Tenforder, who was in P5, is he going to improve on that? Along the pit straight he comes to break the timing lead, and it is a raise of 1 position. So Larry Tenforder bumping Rudy Van Buren down into 5th place. Pereira holding on to that 3rd. Now Lauren Heinrich has improved. Lauren Heinrich up to 6th. So The championship leader doing what he needs to do. Hartog is now down to 7th. Lorcan Hannafin in 8th. Schuring 9th and Tauscher in 10th. So the positions are still changing. There is still time to be found, even though the conditions appear to be deteriorating. Ariel Levy looking for his best qualifying session of the year. Currently in 12th. Surely he's going to improve on that, is he? As he crosses the line, Ariel Levy doesn't improve. That final sector catching him out, and he stays in 12th place. So Ariel Levy in the number 75 car for Huber Racing. And you can see bits of grass on the track where somebody's done a little bit of rallycross and dragged some dirt and grass onto the circuit. That's not going to improve anybody's day. Larry Tenforder. And again, you can see a personal best in Sector 1. Can he improve further? 24.8 in Sector 2, which is not spectacular. Certainly not a best, but it's Sector 3. If he can get a green in Sector 3, it does feel as though that third sector is lacking in traction as these weather conditions deteriorate. Here comes Larry Tenforder. P4 is where he was at the start of this lap, and P4 is where he remains. So Larry Tenforder cementing his position on what will be an outside second row start. And Bastian Boos, well, it's hero or zero in the Allied racing car. He is the fastest man. He's the only driver into the 134s, but you can see how closely he's walking the line as he runs wide off the circuit, trying to improve. And remember, he needs 2 fastest laps if he wants 2 pole positions this weekend. Still, most cars out on the circuit, and still drivers trying to improve. Hartog is in the pits and Bastian Boos is in the pits, but we have only 20 seconds of this session remaining. Harold Prochik, hardly mentioned him at all today as he comes out to improve on 16th place. Can he improve on that? Harold Prochik, no, he stays in 16th. So the track really not getting any quicker. Prochik did do a personal best in Sector 1, but not enough to improve on his position. The clock strikes 0, so any drivers that are on a lap may continue, and that lap time will count. But any drivers now who cross the line, their session is over. It doesn't look as though anybody is going to get into the 134s apart from Bastian Boos. So it could be Bastian Boos in the number 99 car, who takes what I believe will be his first pole position in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Zoran Spreng has stopped in the pit lane. So the number 5 car looks to have stopped in the pit lane and is now being pushed back into the garage. And Zoran Spreng was 21st and 3rd in the Pro-Am category. The Allied racing team congratulating each other, and most of all congratulating that man there, Bastian Boos, scoring pole position. The fastest lap here in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, qualifying for races 11 and 12 of this 16 race season. Max van Splunteren, a great job from him. His best result of the season so far has been a 5th place. So to start on the front row, well, if he can finish in that position, he would be delighted. Dylan Pereira, not bad. He's had a fairly shaky midsection of the season. I said that Van Splunteren was going to be on the front row. Maurice Schuring, while we were all just snoozing, jumped up in the absolute closing stages and has put the car on 2nd. So Maurice Schuring, at the absolute last gasp, has jumped up into 2nd place and moved Max van Splunteren onto the 2nd row. So Maurice Schuring, great lap from him. While we were looking away at all the congratulations, it was Maurice Schuring who improved on his time and starts alongside Bastian Boos. What a young front row that is going to be. Both drivers in the talent pool. And that says to us the state of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany is in very good hands. The 2 talented drivers scoring 1 and 2 for race 1 of the weekend for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Max van Splunteren bumped down into 3rd. Had a Dylan Pereira. Larry Tenforder is 5th. And Rudy Van Buren 6th. Lauren Heinrich down into 7th. Luke Hartog in 8th. Our fastest rookie, Lorcan Hannafin, in 9th. ahead of Alex Tauscher, another of the rookies. And our fastest Pro-Am driver is Kim Hauschild in 11th place. Jan-Erik Sloten in 13th is the second of the Pro-Am drivers. And Carlos Rivas, he's going to have some work to do from there, 4th in the Pro-Am standings, but a long way back in 26th position. His main championship rival, Jan-Erik Sloten, is 13th. And Rivas is going to have to think of something pretty clever to get up and to get past Sloten and close in on that championship lead that Sloten has coming into this race. It was only 7 points, but if that gap remains, Sloten could well open up his Pro-Am lead. Carlos Rivas, the most successful Pro-Am driver in Carrera Cup Germany history, looking to defend his title, and he's got his work to do from there. Third on the timesheets and starting third in race 1 will be Max van Splunteren. A great qualifying session for him in the Team GP Elite car. SSR Huber starting Christoph Huber's 100th race in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Second, Morris Schöring. And for Allied Racing, Bastian Boos. What I believe is his first ever pole position. And he's going to take a bit of stopping from there. Bastian Boos is the fastest of anybody in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So the rain, as you can see, has started to increase. So we got this session done and dusted in the nick of time. The rain is falling, but the grid is pretty mixed up. There are 2 young chargers that are going to be starting on the front row. Bastian Boos and Morris Schöring into turn 1. That is going to be exciting. This is turning out to be an absolutely classic season of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and it is shaping up to be a classic race later on today because the championship leader, Larin Heinrich, starts 7th. Defending champion Larry Tenforder starts 5th. You have the 2 chargers, Bastian Boos and Morris Schöring, starting from the front. Throw in Luke Hartog in 8th, Lorcan Hannafin in 9th. And this is very tasty indeed. Don't forget Dylan Pereira in 4th and Rudy Van Buren in 5th. It really is mixed up. You've got Max van Splunteren, who really is looking to score his best result of the season there as well in 3rd place. This really is shaping up to be an epic race that will turn out later on today, and of course race 2 tomorrow. It will be races 11 and 12 of this 16 race season for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Miss it and weep. It's going to be epic. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.